I'm going to give you one sentence on each one of the brand new Diamondbacks. There's six of them. Here's what you need to know right now.
You are Locked On Diamondbacks, your daily Arizona Diamondbacks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, Diamondbacks fans. Welcome to the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast, your team every day. Now, I know you guys know this already, but let's give you the spiel at the beginning, right? Baseball's my religion. The Diamondbacks are my denomination, and you are my congregation. So let's get everything started. I do have another weekly podcast that I do every Tuesday night with my buddy Cheese. It's called The Sports Truth. Sports is spelled Sportz, and I spell it that way because I am also a part of www.weLikeSportsPC.com. Write articles, bring new writers in, and edit a lot of things for them on that particular website. Now, as far as The Sports Truth goes on that particular podcast, you can find us at the 643 and out pod. You can do that on X at the 643 and out pod, and you can also do that over on YouTube. Once again, at the 643 and out pod. How do we get that name? 643 like a double play in baseball, 3 and out like you can't get a first down in football. We smash those together, and since there's two of us, the 643 and out guys. All right. Let's get going with the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast right now. So by listening, you're a certified member of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is completely free on all podcast platforms. And you can be part of the show by simply going to YouTube. You can leave your comments right there, and you can leave your criticisms there as well. I'll take either one. New at this game, so give it to me. Let me hear it. Just, oh, you know what? Be as mean as you want. It doesn't matter. All right. So I have a passion for this game. I have a real passion for this team. And I want to thank you for making Locked On your first choice every day right here on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast. So on today's show, we're going to look at the 6 prospects. We're going to look at the 3 that we got from the Texas Rangers in the Kelly trade. And we're going to look at the 3 that we got in the Suarez trade with the Mariners. We're going to do an Oakland series preview, but more than anything, we're basically going to preview the stadium. And I'll tell you why in our second segment. And then in the last segment, I can't wait to give this stuff to you because I think this is really vitally important as we move forward now that the trade deadline is done, because we need to give Mike Hazen some credit. And I'll tell you why. But first, Locked On Diamondbacks is sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that's the number 5, hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off of your order. Order 5 Hour Energy transfusion flavor and get it in the shots today. All right, let's go with our first segment. And like I said, we're going to give you the 6 new guys that we've got here in Arizona. 3 from Texas, 3 from the Mariners. Give you kind of a sentence on each one, give you a little bit of familiarity with these guys, and we'll do a deep dive next week into all of these prospects that we have. But for right now, just give you some stuff that you can talk about around the water cooler and stuff tomorrow so you sound really smart when all of your friends are like, hey, man, I know you're a big Diamondbacks fan. What about these new prospects? What do you think? You'll be able to tell all your family and friends from what you're going to hear right now on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast. So let's look at Tyler Locklear. He was the big prize in the Seattle Mariners trade. Tyler Locklear, let me give you this stat. You ready? Last week, he went 9 for 9 in a stretch of time last week. 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, and he is, well, he's not currently leading the PCL because he's going to be on the Diamondbacks 40-man roster starting tomorrow when they go to Oakland. But when he was with the Mariners, he was leading the PCL in on-base plus slugging percentage at 1.745. And he led all AAA in home runs with 16, RBIs with 56. He was second in OPS at 1.140. And his slash line for the entire year in AAA, if you don't think this guy's a can't-miss prospect, I think he is. I love this pick that we got for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Here's his slash line. You guys ready? 316, 401, 542. That is Tyler Locklear. He was the number 9 prospect in the Seattle Mariner organization. Let's look at the other 2 people that we got in that Seattle Mariners trade, starting with a high A pitcher and 16th ranked prospect, Hunter Cranton. He made 8 relief appearances this year, 1 run, 4 hits, 3 walks. And ladies and gentlemen, I know that he didn't pitch a whole lot, but he got hit with a line drive earlier, had a concussion, so he was out for quite a while. He has come back. I'm sure he's passed all the physicals and everything else that he needs to off of that concussion protocol, but he's got a 98 to 99 mile per hour fastball. Look him up. I've seen it in action, and I'm sure we're going to see it before too much longer at Chase Field for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, that's Hunter Cranton, the number 16 prospect. He's in high A right at the moment, and that's another thing that we're going to do probably tomorrow is I'm going to tell you where these prospects are going to go and what you can kind of expect from those prospects. The last one that we got from the Seattle Mariners is Juan Burgos. They're a 17th ranked prospect. He did 3 runs in 6 2/3 innings. He's a ground ball pitcher. This guy's a little different than everybody else, right? And we need ground ball pitchers at Chase Field. If you guys don't know, really hitter-friendly ballpark. I'm sure most of you have been there. You've seen the ball fly out of there at times. So there are strikeout pitchers like what Hunter is, and then there's these ground ball pitcher guys. And we need both, especially in the late innings in our relief, because as you guys already know, the relief corps is where we need the most help, I believe, right now. So that is Tyler Locklear, Hunter Cranton, Juan Burgos, and we got all 3 of those in the Eugenio Suarez trade with the Seattle Mariners. Now let's talk about the Merrill Kelly trade to the Texas Rangers. We first got left-handed pitcher Cole Drake. He's got a 93 mile per hour sinker, a low 80s slider, and a mid 80s changeup, plus a low 80s curve. Now, this guy's not a reliever. He's a starter. So he's got sinker, slider, changeup, and curve. He's got 4 really good pitches, and I think he'll be up here with the Diamondbacks sooner rather than later and could be a really good starter for us as well. I got all of this stuff, by the way, from a fantastic website, on Twitter. It's not really a website. It's a Twitter page. So make sure you go over and follow them. You ready? Take some notes, write it down, because it's a fantastic website if you want to know all about our minor league teams and our minor league players. It's Diamondbacks Prospects, and it is at D-Backs with an S, at D-Backs Prospects with a Z on the end. That's another reason why I like it. It does the Z's like I like to do on our other podcast. So it's at DBACKSPROSPECTZ. All right. So there we go. I wanted to get that out of the way and make sure that I gave them their plug. I really like that X account. Follow that. We get these stats from them. They're a fantastic site. The second person in the Rangers trade that we got with Merrill Kelly would be left-handed pitcher Mitch Bratt, B-R-A-T-T. He has a low 90s fastball. He has a low 80s sinker and a changeup. So he's got 3 pitches. He's a starter as well. And what this guy's got that maybe not everybody else has, he has what they like to call elite control. He can put that ball wherever he wants. The catcher puts it out there, and that ball's going to go right in that spot, man. He has really, really good control. I like this guy a lot. I think he's going to be, again, a really good prospect for us. And we'll talk about this later on as we get more into the depth and things of these guys. But Mike Hazen got 9 prospects. And if you hit on 4 or 5 of them, you're doing really well. So we'll just have to wait and see. You don't know who won this trade deadline. You don't know if any of these people that we got are really going to be great. We'll have to wait and see on these guys. But I like the pedigrees that they come with, and I like the pitching ability that most of them have. Lastly, David Hageman. Fastball at 92 to 94, but has topped out at 98, so he can reach back and give you a little more if need be. He's got an 80s slider and an 80s changeup that he uses almost exclusively for left-handers. So more than likely going to be a reliever. He's going to start out in the lower level for us, but again, 3 really good prospects that we got for an aspiring contract. This is really good. I really, really like the return that we got for these guys. And I think that you guys will too. And again, we'll do a deep dive later next week on each one of these guys. We'll take a segment and we'll talk about each one. But right now, let's talk about 5-hour energy. All right, let's do it. We said we will, so let's go ahead and do it. 5-hour energy. It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-hour energy. Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavors of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, of course, into a quick, energizing shot. Whatever, if you're sinking birdies or you're just making memories with friends, this one is a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest. Some days on the course or even off of it, you just need that extra boost to get yourself sharp and to push yourself through the day and get energized. So now this transfusion, man, I really, really like it. The other day, I was on the golf course. I don't get out there too much, but I do get out there a little bit. I got frustrated. You know, I don't know about you guys, but man, the golf game gets me frustrated sometimes. I just Happy Gilmore a shot, man. Ran up there and just cracked that thing as hard as I could do it, swung for the fences, man. And that ball went flying. And the thing was, I got closer to the pin with that one than I did any other shot that I concentrated on the entire golf game. It was pretty darn hilarious. But what I did right before I did that was a shot of 5-hour energy transfusion. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. And the great ginger and lime flavors give you the best part of your clubhouse without having to chase down the beverage cart. So if you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is 5, the number 5, hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code, which is Locked On Golf, to receive 20% off of your first order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and can't be used with any other promotions. The code is also not good on subscription orders. But whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, 36 is rough. Get the energizing boost that you need and power through with 5-hour energy. Order transfusion flavored 5-hour energy shots today. All right, Diamondback fans, let's go back here a little bit to the second segment as we jump into this here. So the second segment, I was going to try to preview the game that'll be taking place tomorrow and the series that'll go on after that. So they're playing in Oakland, Vegas, Sacramento, right? Where in the world are the A's now, right? This team is in shambles as we're waiting to get them into Vegas. I tell you what, though, man, being here in Arizona, I will go out to Vegas when they open up that new stadium. That stadium looks pretty cool by the pictures and everything else that I've seen. And to be honest with you, man, I may have to go to Oakland next year if the baseball schedule allows me to do so. It'll be pretty neat. I think I want to go, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to preview the stadium with you because it was supposed to be Merrill Kelly, and on the Oakland side, you look it up to see who's going to pitch, and it's to be determined. So it's really hard to do Merrill Kelly after he's traded and then do to be determined and try to go through all this stuff with everything. So we're going to do it a little bit different, and we're going to preview the series, but mostly we're going to preview this ballpark. I like it by the pictures. I'm going to share a lot of things with you. So the Oakland series preview game 1, it will be 7:10 tomorrow, 7:10 on Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon, the game time will be at 1:10. It's at a place called Suter Health Park and that is in Sacramento, California. It's the current home of the Sacramento River Cats, which are the AAA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. Its capacity, I had to look this up like 2 or 3 different places because when I looked it up the first time, I was like, there's no way in the world that's its real capacity. 14,014. 14014. Yeah, 14,014. It really is the number, I swear. It's kind of neat, right? So then I was like, I keep hearing that this ballpark gives up a lot of home runs, a lot of big hits. So let's look at dimensions and let's compare those dimensions to Chase Field. So let's do it. Left field at Suter Health Park is 330 feet. Left field at Chase Field, 330 feet. No difference whatsoever. The exact same measurement from home plate to straightaway left field. Now, if we go over to right field at Suter Health Park is 325 feet from home plate to the fence. And at Chase Field, it's only 10 feet further, 335 feet. So not that much different. And then in center field at Suter Health Park, again, that's the Sacramento, California stadium where the A's are playing at right at the moment, and our Diamondbacks are going to be there this weekend. We'll do a 7-10 game, 7-10 second game, and a 1-10 game on Sunday. The dimensions in center field at that park are 403 feet from home plate to center. But at Chase Field, again, not that much different. I'm not sure where everybody says, oh, this is a great hitter's ballpark. Of course, I think most people would consider Chase Field a pretty good hitter's ballpark too. But 403 at Suter Health Park, 407 at Chase Field. I guess it should be this way, 403, 407, right? All right, the A's are 43 and 63, so 20 games under 500. That's what I'm actually from Ohio, so that's what my Ohio math tells me, right? And then the Arizona Diamondbacks are 51 and 58, 7 games under 500. So, and you know what? That's wrong. The A's are 48 and 63. I think I said they're 43 and 63. They're 48 and 63. This is a team that the Diamondbacks should be able to beat. And I'd like to know, leave it for me in the comments. What do you expect out of this team for this particular time? Is 2 out of 3 good enough for you, or do they need to sweep? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I think that they would need to at least take 2 out of 3, but I would certainly like to see them sweep, especially after getting beat 3 in Detroit. You'll have no Wilson. He's on the IL right at the moment. Mason Miller got traded. JP Sears got traded, so their closer's gone. One of their starting pitchers is gone, and their outfielder, Andujar, he got traded to the Cincinnati Reds. So it's a kind of a new look Oakland team, just like it's a kind of a new look Arizona Diamondbacks team. That's missing Suarez, that's missing Naylor, that's missing Gritchett, that's missing Merrill Kelly, that's missing Shelby Miller. So a lot of different pieces have been changed and switched on these two teams, and they'll meet up at Suter Health Park. 7-10, 7-10, 1-10 for the next 3 days there in Sacramento, California. YouTube is a great tool for you to get everything that you need about your Arizona Diamondbacks. But in order for you to do that, please do me a favor, help me feed my family here, right? Subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a video, because we're going to do a lot of different stuff here as we grow and get into all of this. And then this is my first week, so just remember that. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing some different things. And if you have some suggestions that you're like, hey, I would like to see you as the host of the show do this, or I'd like to have you focus on this, or please leave it for me in the comments section. I'll get back to you. I will go through and read all these comments, and I'll message everybody back. You can also get me on X. I'm very active on X. I do a lot of retweets and reposts, and we'll do some poll questions and stuff like that as we get more and more into all of this, and I figure out and navigate exactly when I'm going to do posts and all those kinds of things. So that you can get me. It says right below my name here on the screen, at LO_Diamondback. That is the X account where you can get us at, right here on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast. All right, we're going to jump into segment number 3. And before we get to segment number 3, when we're done here, would you like a broader look at the game of baseball? Sometimes I like a broader look, right? And what the guys do over at Locked On MLB Game Night is they watch every game so that you don't have to. I don't have time to watch every game. Seems like sometimes I barely have time to do what I'm doing with this podcast and still watch the game. But I love my Diamondbacks just like you guys do, and I want to watch every play, every game, every day. So they watch all of those so that you don't have to. And you know what? You also don't just have to watch us on YouTube. I understand you're in the car a lot. I understand you're doing other things. You're out mowing the grass. You're grilling outside. You're doing all these other activities out there. It's beautiful out here, especially in Arizona right now. I know it's a little hot, but man, I'm from Ohio originally. I'm telling you, there's nothing like the humidity. When they say it's a dry heat and all of you complain about it being a dry heat, trust me, you much rather have the dry heat than the humidity they've got back there. So you can get us on all the audio platforms as well. Apple, Spotify, and my personal favorite, where I first discovered the Locked On Podcast Network, which is XM Satellite Radio. Now let's find out and let's look at why we should give Mike Hazen some credit for what he just did at the trade deadline. Come on, everybody. I know this is not the way we wanted this season to be, right? When we started everything in spring training, we really thought this team was going to compete, me included. I was really ecstatic for this team. I thought the additions that they made were really going to add everything, but then we got all these injuries. And because we've got all these injuries and the Arizona Diamondbacks decided to pivot, which, by the way, was the right move, man, Mike Hazen, you got to give him some credit for what he's pulled off in the last few days, right? So he got starters. And if you look at the trade deadline, he was one of the very few guys that actually got one of his starters traded for, and he got good stuff back. Think about this for a minute. Let me rattle you off some of the starters. Sandy didn't get traded in Miami. Cabrera didn't get traded from Miami. Ryan did not get traded. I mean, the Minnesota Twins unloaded everything, and they kept Ryan, so he didn't get traded out of Minnesota. Cease didn't get traded out of San Diego, and we all knew he was on the block. Gallen, of course, didn't get traded from here. There was a lot of rumors around Mackenzie Gore. He didn't get traded. There's Severino from Oakland that they're going to play starting tomorrow, didn't get traded. And Mitch Keller from Pittsburgh. None of those starters got traded, yet our guy, Mike Hazen, did trade one of his starters, and he got a good haul back in return. And there were a ton of starters out there that Texas could have went and got, but they decided to come here to Arizona and get Kelly. And I really think you have to give Hazen some big-time credit for that. Yes, there was a couple of other starters that were traded. We'll go over that. Bieber got traded, right? He went, but he's only pitched 12 innings. So let's not, he's got a good track record, but it's even less than the one Zach Gallen has right at the moment. The Tigers did pick up Morton, and they picked up Paddock, but come on now. Those guys are number 4 and 5 at best. Those aren't legitimate, big-time starting pitchers, and Merrill Kelly is one of those guys. I'm going to root for him in Texas. I'm sure most of you guys are as well. So Hazen got 3 of Texas's top 20 prospects, by the way. He didn't just get 3, or he didn't just get 2 decent ones and a throw-in or something like that. He got 3 of their top 20 prospects. In total, he got 9 players, and from Milwaukee, a player to be named later. And then 6 of those are either in AAA right now, or they have actually had some major league experience. In fact, a few of them that we'll talk about tomorrow are actually going to be on the 40-man roster here in Arizona. And that's one of the topics we'll look at tomorrow. Which of these guys that we just picked up are going to be able to help us right now on the 40-man roster? So then they came out, did the Diamondbacks organization, and they said, hey, we want to get pitching. And they did it. Very, very seldom does a team come out and say, this is what we want to do and give away what they want to do and still are able to accomplish it. Mike Hazen, fantastic job by you and the rest of your staff being able to do that. Last thing that I want to point out here about Mike Hazen, he actually proved that he is a good businessman as well, not just a good baseball man. And here's what I mean. Hazen showed that he is a good, smart businessman, and I can prove it to you by numbers in payroll from the last few years. So in 2022, they started out with a 90 million or so payroll, roughly. I'm using round numbers here, right? 90.6. Okay, so 90.6 million. They ended up with 97.8. So they added a little bit in 2022. Then they went 2023, and we all know what happened in 2023, right? They started off with 116 million, went to 119 million. So then in 2024, they're like, okay, so we made money because, all of the fantastic things that happened here in Arizona during that run that they made, and they put that money right back into the team. Again, thank you, Ken Kendrick. Okay. If you guys don't understand this, he doesn't have to do that. He can pocket that money. A lot of the teams do. The Pittsburgh Pirates do, and the Colorado Rockies do. All these other minuscule teams that just pocket all the money. All right. And our guy didn't do that. So Ken Kendrick, I appreciate you as well. The 2024, he went from 163 million. He started out at 163 million. He took all that money he made and put it right back into the team. 163 million and ended with 177 million. And even though they didn't make the playoffs, they came really close. And he was still willing to pump more money into the team. And I appreciate that. Now in 2025, they went from 177 million. They started out at 188 million. And today, and the last few days, with everything that they did, not only did they get some really good prospects back that I believe are going to help us in the long run, but they saved money. Mike Hazen went to Ken Kendrick and said, look, man, next time when we need to pump in some more money, please do so, because if you also need to save money, I can do that for you too. He saved Ken Kendrick and the rest of the people on that board $18 million in just the last few days by all these trades and stuff that he made. And for those of you who are like, oh, we didn't get nothing back from the Shelby Miller deal. Yes, we did. We got rid of Jordan Montgomery and a big chunk of his salary, saving the team money. It is very important, because the last thing you want to do is turn something upside down, get a sour taste in everybody's mouth, and then they're like, okay, you know what? We are cutting payroll. We don't want them to cut payroll, correct? Yes. We want them to continue to spend, continue to give us a great product. And by the way, I will continue to grow this and will continue to give each one of you guys a great product. So as we go ahead and we get everything put together here and we say goodbye to everyone, wrapping up today's show, thanks as always for making us your first listen every day. Tell a friend. Even if they're an imaginary friend. Those are the only friends that I've got. I don't know about you guys, but that's all I got. Tell them, let them know. And coming up on the next edition of Locked On Diamondbacks, as we talked about, we're going to do a deeper dive into some of these position players that we just got in the trades. And we're going to also go through some other things with you in 3 segments tomorrow. So join me right here on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast. But until then, as always, tune in so you can stay locked on.